Kate with Healing Collections, and then this is a segment called what's like a video type? Like
a vlog?
Yeah, but like, anyway, burning questions. Like, I have different types of videos on my channels, like readings and stuff, and one of the types of videos is like burning questions. Category video. Anyway, I digress. But pretty much, so Hot Ones, Sean Evans, 100% copying his idea. Kind of going down the line of hot sauces or whatever, and then asking questions in between each one. So literally like Hot Ones, except for rather than just me asking you questions, we'll go back and forth. So take a dab of hot sauce, and then like I'll ask a question and you ask a question, or you ask a question and I ask a question for each one. So it's like a dual interview. And then also, like, we're not famous, so it's like how, like, witchcraft for me, so witchy questions, and then for you, I'll be asking questions about you being agnostic or your spirituality. And so the first one...
We're not famous yet.
We were on Dancing with the Stars, Des Moines. Local celebrities for Dancing with the Stars. But okay, so the first hot sauce, this one's not very hot. Oh, and our hot sauces, so this starts at a level 4, but then at about here, so you've seen Hot Ones, right? On YouTube.
Part of it, yeah.
So the bomb hot sauce, all of these from here to here are either like one before or one after the bomb. So they're all like pretty fucking hot. And then this is like their hottest one, but that's from the game. And then as you can see, I like broke the cap right here. So, well, I tried to put it in the box too tight, and well, anyway. All right, so cheers. All right, so first question. Oh, it's just so weird to take a spoonful. All right, so first question. What are your spiritual beliefs?
Wow, just getting right into it. My spiritual beliefs.
Well, or like, what religion are you? But like, I know you're not religious, so that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like to classify it. I guess the closest thing would be agnostic. You know, there's definitely, in my belief, in my opinion, there's some driving force out there that created all of this, and our goal as humanity is to try to piece together the puzzle and figure out where we belong.
Yeah, and that. Oh, I your turn.
My question for you, first question is, when did you get started with the witchy stuff? What was that first strike?
I would say first as like a little kid, but whether that just be like collecting little glass jars and making like witch potions or like stuff outside. But then I would say I got my first set of like oracle cards when I was like 24, so like doing card readings. But then when it came to like practicing metaphysics and doing like spell work that I was aware of, whereas like blowing out candles like on a birthday is like a spell, but like that I'm like cognizantly aware of, I would say probably 28, like the year before I moved in here, maybe. The year before we lived together is when I like actively started practicing, because before that it was like working as a bartender and marketing director, and then just not being happy and going crazy and having a mental breakdown, and then okay, actually no, to bring that back to spirituality, before I would always identify as agnostic, or before that, like atheists and stuff. But then I always like believed in like metaphysics and stuff like that. I would study it. But when it came to like spirituality, like when I had like a mental breakdown or whatever, well, the last one, not the first, but the last, start like practicing that, like kind of helped me get out of it. Like whereas like spirituality hadn't really been a part. Like, just because I believed it didn't mean I practiced it. So the act of like practicing it kind of helped get me out of that. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Obviously, I don't know if you were aware this afternoon, but I can't get my fucking ADHD pills, and that's a whole nother thing. So if I start, a sentence and then just like forget where it's going and then lead into another story. Sorry.
Disclaimer, the video is going to be all over the place.
Yeah. Well, it won't like fill my fucking prescription because fucking insurance, and then it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Okay, so.
Level 2.
Yeah, technically on their rating, it's a level 5.
Level 5.
Okay.
Round 2.
All right, so then, did you grow up religious?
Yeah, oh yeah. I grew up Southeast Iowa. Went to an evangelical church. Church every Sunday, church every Wednesday, Bible camps. My parents would help out in the church a lot. I spent probably 3 or 4 days a week at the church.
And again, what is evangelical?
Oh God, that's how I understand it as evangelical, because it's the closest thing to the crazy Texan church.
But that's a type of Christianity.
Yeah, so how I understand it is the biggest difference between like evangelicals and like Baptists and everyone else is evangelicals like to speak in tongues. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the biggest difference. 10% tithe, speak in tongues, worship.
Say that again. 10% what?
10% tithe. You're supposed to tithe your church 10%. That's what they say.
Tithe?
Tithe. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's a donation to the church.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No. Catholics, like, we have a basket that we pass around for donations, and if the church feels like your family's not giving enough, they'll write you a letter.
The worst we got was just looks.
Oh. No, they'll write you a letter. Like, we've noticed donations have been down. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was never that bad.
My parents never got a letter, but I knew families that like did. And like we put in like $1 or something.
Sure,
but
yeah, put something in it.
Yeah. Also, when I was growing up, the church was like building a new church, so like they were needing donations to like get that new one built.
Your turn. Okay, my turn. Let's see here. I should have prepared a little bit better for this. Let's go with like, what kind of a witch are you? Yeah, right. Because Jordan had what's the difference between Sabrina? I want to know how do you classify yourself as a witch?
Okay, so there's a bunch of different like labels, I guess. But I refer to myself as like Celtic or Norse pagan because I do a lot of work with like Celtic and old like Norse type, like Viking type of stuff. Like I work a lot with runes. I'm half Irish. I like do a lot of blood magic, meaning like I prick my finger and stuff to anoint different things. And when I do blood magic, it's not like hoodoo or voodoo, which there's nothing wrong with hoodoo and voodoo. It's just I do it for more of like my ancestral like blood, not so much as it's more of like a reinforcement, and I don't like chanting things, so it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. But if like I was to get on Instagram, the type of like Instagram witch I would be either a nocturnal witch, because I do all my like rituals and stuff after it's nighttime, or an eclectic witch because I incorporate a lot of different like kitchen magic, like certified Reiki practitioner, different like eclectic just means, well, you know what eclectic means, so like taking a bunch of different practices. So eclectic witch, nocturnal witch, Celtic, pagan, Norse, yeah. So
a lot of words thrown in there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I identify as a Celtic pagan, but Instagram would put me as a nocturnal witch or a eclectic witch. But okay. Oops, shit! I keep dropping it. Chuz. I don't know why I go to slam it on the counter like it's a shot, but. Oh. Mhm.
Ooh, we got a little more heat.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, the next one it steps it up. Nice. Okay. So, did you always have your beliefs or lack thereof, like the spiritual beliefs of like something exists, but like you don't know what? Have you always had that mentality, or? And when I say lack thereof, I mean growing up super religious, yet you don't have all those religious beliefs. So like lack of like. You know what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I was growing up, I definitely was hardcore Christian, right? So kind kind of just follow what my parents were doing. My parents were, raised me to be a Christian. So.
And you shared those beliefs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because, growing up, what else are you going to do, right? Your parents are trying to teach you life and you're trying to learn. So growing up, it was really, 10 Commandments. You go to church on Sunday. You try not to cuss. Don't steal from your neighbor. Love the neighbor, that kind of stuff. And then, right.
Oh, we just had very different, sorry, it's funny.
And then, when I became of age, or I became an adult, 18, and I went into college, some things happened while I was in high school, which I'm sure we're going to get into later. And then in college, I decided to actually take a religion course. So I was like, okay, religion 205, let's figure it out. I know about Christianity. What about Hinduism? What about Buddhism? What about this, that, and the other thing? So I spent a whole semester studying that, and that really opened my eyes to the idea that the Eastern culture and the Western culture have several similarities. They like to classify things different, and they like to, put their own spin on it, but essentially it's all the same. It's just, you might call him Allah, or you might call him God, or you may call him Yahweh, or I don't want to offend anybody, but there's a million different names out there. Essentially where I'm at is that it is all the same. We're just understanding it differently.
Yeah. No, I was laughing before because when you were like, that's what my parents believe, like, half Catholic, like, I grew up in a very Catholic home, like, pray before every meal type of thing. It's just, I've always, like, I never believed it. So, like, even as a little kid, I remember in Sunday school, we had an assignment to, like, in crayons, like, draw Jesus, or no, it was draw God. And, like, we were learning about the Holy Trinity. So our Sunday school teacher, when she said draw God, wanted you to draw, like, Jesus, because it's, like, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I remember I drew the sky, like the sun and clouds and then eyes, and she was like, oh, but that's not Jesus. I'm like, yeah, it's the universe. And she goes, what? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, God is Jesus. I'm like, no. It's like, no.
Yeah, no,
I'm like in first grade. I don't know. I've always kind of done the whole thing. But yeah, no, I also like learning about other religions and stuff like that. And it is fascinating.
Oh, yeah, growing up, I definitely drank the Kool-Aid. So.
Yeah, they definitely tried to get me too. It didn't take. Sorry, your turn.
Question. My question for you is, what's your ultimate goal? What is the highest witch point that you want to be at? Do you want to be in the woods by yourself with your dog, with Thea, obviously, for a million years? And plants all around you, like alone, or do you want to be? Where do you?
Both. I would like. Well, okay. So like, I would like to experience that at some point. Like, I wanted to. Do the go to Ireland and backpack and stuff and like be submersed in like nature and stuff for an extended length of time. COVID, kind of fucked that up. But I do want to have like a place in nature, not surrounded by anyone, but like, I don't know if that's like an end goal. I think that'd be something I would like to have, like maybe own property or land or something where like I could do that. But I would say in regards to like my practice, I would like to do a lot of like ritual work and stuff like that, but like for clients. So have people kind of like come to me for different like rituals, and then have kind of like, I don't know, like I would love to have, I would say like a lot of different like properties, like a place in nature, and then maybe like a loft downtown where I could like, do certain works and stuff like that, like a loft above like a shop or something, to have like a shop where I can like make different things and like do different like make different alchemy like products and stuff, and like have a loft above there, so that way if I was like working in the middle of the night, like I could like just go upstairs and crash kind of thing. But then also like I would love to have, like, I just like doing spell work for other people. Like, if I'm doing something for myself, it's just, like, another thing on a to-do list. So I probably won't do it. Because it's like, oh, if you want something, you could just do a spell for it. But it's like, yeah, like, I would love to, like, walk into a clean bedroom all the time. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take the time to clean it every day. Should I? Yeah, but it's another thing to do. Whereas like if it's like doing it for somebody else, that's like more motivating. Like if someone, you know, sends me a text, hey, can you like do this type of ritual? And I'm like, yeah, and I get like all excited. So I would say end goal would be to have like clients that I can like perform rituals for in different spaces for like different things. Because again, like, I don't know, I feel like when I practice, like I like practicing in like different spaces and just having like different energies and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, that's probably also the ADD. Like I want to be in nature and I want to loft downtown in the city. Like it's yeah. I don't know, different spaces for different things.
I can get that.
And then okay, so here we take a jump.
I gotta mix it up first. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the one after this is like even bigger of a jump.
Ooh.
Well, okay, you know, it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's a big one. You got me doing it now too.
I feel like there's like a
Tap on the table.
video or something where it's like it's all sorts of species. Oh, nature walk. Where it goes.
Nature.
Species. We're all kinds of species. We're all different things.
Fire season, don't you know?
Oh, yeah. What led to your current belief system?
Every day until today led to my current belief system. So, growing up, like I said, started with Christianity. You know, praying to God, asking Him for forgiveness, asking, you know, this deity in the sky for help along the way, and then going out of religion a little bit into my own, you know, into the world without necessarily worrying about, you know, oh God, is God watching me or is He judging me right now? And then more going into the realization where God isn't necessarily a singular being in the sky, whereas, you know, the way I see it, God is everywhere, right? He's in everything and He is everything. I mean,
Omniscient, I'm omnipresent,
there you
I'm
go.
me.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, not that God is necessarily in this glass of wine, but it's still delicious.
It's Jesus' blood, bitch.
That's right.
Charles. I love that noise. Cool. Starting to get fucked up from the hot sauce. Well, and the wine doesn't take much, I guess.
Careful not to touch your eyes.
Yeah. That was what Sean always says in the videos too. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
This is your turn, Kate.
Question.
Let's ask you a question.
Hmm?
No, I need to ask you a question. That's the part. Another question for you. What is something that you don't know how to do yet that you're learning or trying to do or want to do in the future? So I know you do like Reiki and you're still learning that stuff, but what's something you haven't even started to learn yet that you really want to?
I would say kind of the opposite. I feel like I'll get excited about new things I know nothing about and then learn a little bit about it. Like not kind of look much further into it sometimes.
Nothing's caught your eye recently.
Well, no, I can't really say that. Like Thea, what you're begging for, I promise you don't want. So like I started looking into like quantum physics a while ago, and like I would like to learn more. Like I feel like stuff that I learned when I first started, like I kind of lost, not touch with, but like because I identified as like agnostic, but if you were to ask my parents, I'd always say atheist because like I wanted to be like fuck you kind of thing. But like so when but because I'd always believed in metaphysics, I had learned kind of what the difference between like a rock and a crystal was, and like the crystalline structure, and how some of them are like cubes, and how it like has sacred geometry like in it, and then there's like the mathematics behind stuff. But because my brain isn't like scientific and math type of like brain, a lot of that information that I researched and like looked up, I like forgot, and it's like in notebooks and stuff somewhere, but I would like to like divulge deeper into that, just because like I did, like there is scientific, like science behind kind of different properties of crystals and stuff like that, so more of that. But yeah, I guess like stuff, you know, back when I was like 24, I started learning about feng shui, and so like I still incorporate a lot of that, but then there's still different like parts that like I'll forget, and so it's like trying to kind of bring some of that back in, or I guess relearn it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, reinforce it.
Yeah, and then also Buddhism. Like I learned about that in college when I was like 21. I took a course on that, but I was also like drunk that year. So there was a lot that I like liked and like learned, but I did not retain much of it. So I would like to, I guess, learn more of this, go into like the mathematics and like science and stuff of different things. And I am taking a class with Liz about like, is it not quantum physics, but I don't know. There's something I'm doing a class with next Tuesday, like to learn. But yeah, I would say, yeah, more of like the science behind stuff, like studying like, because even the pineal gland has like quartz and stuff, or like not necessarily, like there's crystalline structures in it, and then like something with your circadian rhythm. Anyway, yeah, just
everything's connected.
Yeah. Or I would also like to, I will say this, something I've been all right, take back my answer. I mean, I agree with that, but learning different gods and different cultures. Like I started looking more into like Hindu, Voodoo, Hoodoo, Egyptian gods. So like people are familiar with like Thoth, but then there's like Basques, Bas, B-A-S, God, dyslexia is gonna kick in. Anyway, but like B-A-S-K-E, the cat god in Egypt.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
Like Ra, I think, is another one.
Yeah.
The sun god.
Yep. But anyway, so the mother one, she's connected, or she has like similar attributes to like the Hindu god, like Kali Ma. And so like learning about like different like gods in different cultures, like that's something. Gods and goddesses in different cultures. Like I want to learn more about. Because yeah, I would say that's something I've like started to look into recently that I like didn't know much about. Or like the voodoo god, I wrote down his name, but like the one, it's in American Horror Story, the one with the skulls around his neck, and the dreads, and the top hat.
Papa something.
Papa. He's in my notebook.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Graveyard. It's like gateway of the graveyard. Like he keep like
Papa Legba.
Yeah. Oh my god. Because I was thinking like Shiva Lingam, and I was like Lingam, and I'm like, no, that's Shiva Lingam. That's like Shiva, who's Kali Ma's like husband or whatever, and then Shiva Lingams are a stone, a crystal. And I'm okay. That ADD meds, like those would really be coming in handy right about now. Okay, so I feel like the more I talk, the more like space in between each hot sauce is, and then I can like regather my story. And this one is the first one with the Carolina Reaper.
Ooh.
So Carolina Reaper is like the first ingredient too. So Ed from Pucker Butt is who grows those. Yeah, Ed from Pucker Butt who grows the Carolina Reaper. Like that's his like hot sauce like name. It's funny because when I eat his hot sauces, my butt doesn't pucker. It's the opposite effect. Okay, what led to your current beliefs? So day to day, you kind of said this, but like what influences your beliefs? So like before, when you're talking about college and stuff, and then like day to day, is there stuff that like influences or reinforces, I should put, your beliefs?
Spiritual beliefs?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like karma is a thing, and it's really important. So like going through the day to day, one of the rules that I have is, every day go and pick up a piece of litter. So
that's a good one. I need to get back to that.
Even if it's just one piece of litter you pick up a day, that's 365 pieces of litter that's no longer, on the ground. So, growing up, my grandpa really instilled in me, if you ever do something, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing correctly, right?
That's another one thing you've said that stayed with me.
Mm-hmm. And then, trying to make the world better, or not even the world, leaving a place better than how you found it was kind of my goal.
Yeah. No, you and Jordan, there's like little bits of like things that like you tell each other, mostly when you're arguing, that like I'll listen to and like pick up on, and then like I'll be like, I need to remember that. And like one of yours is you were cleaning out I think you were like scrubbing something in the kitchen, and Jordan's like, why are you spending so much time on that? Do that. And you were like, Jordan, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. And I was like, oh, I need to remember that. Yeah. And then Jordan, there was a time where you had like got something or were bringing something back in, and Jordan's like, why are you bringing that? And you were like, well, I can do this with it. And Jordan's like, yes, you can, but will you? And I'm like, ooh, I need to remember that. Just because I can. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I will. And that's helped me a lot with my hoarding. Because like I'll have all these things where I'm like, I could make this, and I'm like, because I can doesn't mean I will. And I'm like, okay. But I don't know, it's funny because both of those were like things that you've said where I'll like go in my room and write it down. I'm like, I need to remember that. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Question for you. I really should have written these down beforehand.
You really don't want anything else here.
Part of the video.
Yeah.
Gonna take a second to think.
Yeah, you want pucker butt? You got the cutest little butthole in the whole world. Yes, you do.
How about... Okay, what was the most recent spell you've done? Let me get my words out. What was the last recent spell you've done?
Well, for somebody else, I got a text this afternoon to do a prosperity ritual for somebody. So I started it. I did like the first few steps, but there's a full moon Friday night and Saturday, so I'm gonna finish it on the full moon. And then, well, I guess it kind of depends because everything I do incorporates spell work. So I like also made like candles and stuff this afternoon. But then I would say the last like spell I did for myself was Monday night when your friend Ezekiel was over, right? Mm-hmm. When I was in my room when he first got here, I had learned about Kali Ma, and I was doing God, now I got the hiccups from that. I was doing like a ritual to like connect with like Kali Ma. So yeah. So I would say, yeah, like, I don't know, probably every day I do something, whether it be a full blown one or something that's like, yeah. But yeah, that's why like earlier today when I got a text about like doing a prosperity ritual for someone, I was like all excited, where it's like, I couldn't even tell you last time I did a prosperity ritual for myself. Probably should, but it's like something else on your to-do list. It's like if you were to like go to the grocery store for yourself, it's like but if someone's like, oh, I need something, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go grab it. Like it's just, I don't know,
I get it.
It's different. Sure. So yeah, but I would say today I started a lot, did some rituals like candles and stuff, but like full-blown like spell work start to finish Monday night. The rest, like I said, I'll have to do for the full moon.
A little extra. Why not?
Yeah. I love this one. This is probably my favorite. I've been trying really hard to not eat it. I've been putting washi tape around the ones that are my favorites to prevent myself or keep myself from.
That's good.
Yeah, it'll kick in a minute. Trinidad Scorpion. Yeah, give it a minute though. He'll get ya.
I can feel it creeping a little bit.
Yeah. How much do your beliefs affect your everyday life?
I mean, Probably more than I think about, but I also don't think about it, so that's a good question. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. I just stuck my tongue out at the.
I don't know. I'd say so. Like I said, so. I don't know how I want to say this without re-saying what I've already said. But like, make places better than you found it. So picking up a piece of litter, you go and I do that, and then I feel good about myself, and then that makes me happy, and then.
Subconsciously, every day, consciously, not often.
Not often consciously, yeah. It's just something I do without thinking about.
Yeah, that's good though. I think subconsciously every day and consciously not often. I think that's kind of like a goal a lot of people like strive to get to. By the way, I just noticed you're wearing an Irish State shirt. I'm wearing an Irish shirt.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan that, but that's amazing. Oh yes.
My question for you: what is your favorite stone?
Shiva Lingam. Or
Shiva Lingam? Do you have any of that? I don't think I've seen that.
yeah, you have. I have a lot of them. I'm gonna show
And there
you.
she goes.
They're from a sacred river in India.
Ooh.
But here's a little one. Here is a medium one, and here's a, well, I shouldn't say big. For my collection, it's big.
Are they like milled
Yes.
like this?
No, they're
They're naturally
start
gold?
over. Yeah, they're little rocks that like go down the river for like hundreds and hundreds of years, or years and years and years, and then they naturally roll into that shape, and then once a year, these like priests or monks in India go into the river to get them, but you have to be like a sacred monk in order to like go into this river
I like these.
to get them. Yeah, and ones with like black in them, the black ones are typically they don't come out of India. They keep them because they're super sacred. I have a few that have like black, but like the ones that are like super dark, they've been like going down the river for like so much longer. But yeah, no, I really, these are probably one of my favorites. I also like Super 7, or it's a Super Aura quartz, but it's like it's pretty much like a crystal. I have that too, but I'm not gonna run and get it. So apparently that one's not as much my favorite because this I like have to get. But that one has like 7 different like quartz infused into it.
Okay.
But I would say that one, or Cinnabar. Cinnabar is another one that's my favorite. I do have one of those too. It is toxic though, so I won't get it because you're eating. But I'll show you that one later because that one's really cool too. Yeah. I also like bones. So like deer antlers and like other bones. I don't know. Those aren't crystals, but fun fact, I like bones.
I like bones.
Like I found all my baby teeth from when I was a kid.
Oh god.
Well, because my mom, for like the tooth fairy, she would like save them, and then I'd like go steal them from her drawer later. Like that's another witchcraft thing. Like selling bones to the fae. Yeah, that's a witchy thing.
It sounds pretty witchy.
Yeah. Okay. Oh fuck me! I inhaled that. Okay. Oh, that burned all the way down. What? Wait. What's your opinion on / idea of witchcraft?
What's my opinion of witchcraft?
Or idea of witchcraft.
Right, so growing up, my mom was all, witchcraft is the devil.
Yeah,
So
obviously living with me, it's a little bit different. You like are more familiar with it, but like before you lived with me, what were your ideas?
Before 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I really didn't have an opinion, honestly, before we started living together. I mean, I knew it was a thing. I knew it wasn't evil at that point. I just thought it was, basically a religion. At first, I thought that all witchcraft was like Satanism and all that, but that's just stemming to my child beliefs. But obviously, after 18, after college, and getting out into the world a little bit, I realized that there's a lot more to witchcraft than Satanism.
No, I get it with it being evil. When I grew up, there's like a witchcraft community in my hometown. It's like on top of this hill. A bunch of like witches live in huts, and like my friend Sarah and I, like, oh, we play like truth or dare sometimes, and we'd like dare to like drive up there. And like out in the front yard, there's like these giant cauldrons over fires and stuff, and we would like freak the fuck out. But I was so intrigued, but like, oh man, we were like terrified. But we'd go and like drive around, and then we'd see all the people like staring out their windows at us. We're like, we gotta go. Or like we like took like a Ouija board to a graveyard once, and like, oh, I remember we were with, so it was my best friend Sarah from high school, and then two of our other friends, Zach and Chad, and like, because I love doing stuff like this, and so I was like, let's do it, and so we went there, and then all of a sudden, like, we got to the graveyard, had out the Ouija board, and at this point in time, like, I didn't know how to like protect myself or like set up different like things to like, you know, you can call out to certain spirits and stuff like that, like, one of the things is like from the third heaven and above, like different spirits or different entities, like when you're working in a different realm, have different like energies, and like if you're opening yourself up to it, like you let's say you're gonna walk down a dark alley in a major city, you know, you could do it and then have a bunch of cash on you, and then that would kind of be attracting like maybe people who would want to rob or mug you. Or you could, you know, not have a bunch of cash on you and like maybe have a knife, so you like are more protected. Like either way, you're like going down you know, a path where like you could be perfectly fine, or there could be harm. Like you don't really know. So it's better to like, you know what you're getting into and like be protected to an extent, you know, be smart about it. Yeah. And so, and I was not smart about it. And we get into that like, the graveyard, and I started like hearing shit, feeling shit, and I was like freaking out, and I'm like, you guys, we gotta stop, and I just start crying, and they're all laughing at me like, you're an idiot. I'm like, no, and I'm like full like crying, like, no, I don't want to anymore. And they were like, Kate, nothing's happening, we're moving it with our hands. I'm like, no, I can sense shit, and like, no. And yeah, and so I started crying, and then I'm pretty sure that like they still like fucked around with it for a little bit, and I just sat there like in my own little like away, like just gonna wait to go. Oh no, I think Sarah unlocked the car and like had me wait in the car for him, because I was like, oh man, like these are like good people. And I remember one time, the side story in high school where like my parents were gone, and I was like, there was something in my basement, and I like ran upstairs to my parents' room, like locked the door. My parents, like I said, were gone, but their bedroom had a TV in it, mine didn't, and the door locked, and I just like went in there, and I'm like calling my parents to get back home. They're like, no, you're 16, 17, I don't know how old at the time. They're like, calm the fuck down, bitch. And I was like, oh shit, no one believes me, so I call Sarah. It's like, Sarah, it's like something freaky, like is downstairs, and she's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, yeah, just stay on the phone with me and like watch TV. She's like, okay. So like we literally just had the phone on speakerphone for like probably an hour or two until my parents got home. She's like, your parents home? I'm like, yeah, but like just like literally like just the best people in the whole world. But yeah, just she was used to me. Like what I'm saying is like being weird once in a while like that. Not even like that, just being weird once in a while. I wonder if she even remembers like stupid shit like that I did. I'm just gonna go into stories talking about Sarah. Oh man, I hope you meet her someday. She's just one of the best people in the world. Like I just love her so much. Okay, so then this one, volcanic peppers. Oh, Thor's hammer. Yeah, this one takes a second to kick in, but it'll kick in, and it is hot chili peppers, red and chocolate ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, and then the scorpion, and then jigsaw and Thai. I don't know what the jigsaw pepper is, but okay, so then what is something you let's just try
hot sauce first.
You can't tell if I'm like drunk or fucked up on hot sauce, because let me tell you, I've gotten fucked up on hot sauce before.
That's cool. That's a good light to it.
What is something that you associate with witchcraft? Oh no, that you associate with witches that freaks you out.
Something I associate. Probably blood magic scares me the most. Like, not the way that you use it, but the way that I've seen it in the media. And just,
I'm still listening. Jordan's gonna get mad at us.
It happens.
Okay. I asked Jordan a similar question, and he said the same thing. He's like, blood magic kind of freaks me out. And I was like when we mounted the TV and I pricked my finger and did a protection rune so it didn't fall off the wall. He goes, yeah, that was weird. Or like something like that. I don't remember.
That doesn't freak me out as much.
But that's how I do it. Whereas with blood magic though, typically like if you're to Google it, it is typically very different than that. But either way, it's still like blood magic.
Negative blood magic, right? So like the blood magic you see in TV, it's like, oh, I have this person's blood and you're going to curse them. Versus the way you do blood magic, it's more you're going to use a little bit of your blood as your own protection.
Yeah, anything that tries to combat someone's free will or like, God damn it. Well, I'm not going to fuck with that because I'll fuck something up. But I gotta take a bite. I was trying to start with her. I'm not taking a bite, but it's hot.
It is warm.
Anything that tries to tamper with somebody's free will, that you don't want to do. Now, you can do rituals for people, or like you could do like a banishment spell on somebody at work or something like that. But like you're still not trying to fuck with their free will. Whereas like something that would be like a love spell for a specific person. Or like you could, oh my god. Or you can do certain rituals like for certain, like if you have a crush on somebody, you can do like a love spell type of thing to like get that person to like be drawn to you. However, it's never something you want to do because one, fucks with people's free will. But two, and I've explained this to somebody before who like had talked to me about it, like that doesn't mean you're gonna be like in a happy relationship. Like if you're doing something to like attract a specific partner to you that it's like not meant to be, you're not gonna have a good relationship. It'll be a toxic relationship because it's not what's supposed to flow. So like that's a whole other thing. But yeah, anything that fucks with people's free will, blood magic can fuck with people's free will very strongly, which is why, yes, I would say if somebody practices a lot of blood magic, like using other people's blood, like that's something that, I don't want to like generalize, but it like, you want to make sure both parties are like always very aware and like, you know what it, I had to undo I had somebody actually, fun story once, who was part of a ritual that they weren't aware that they were a part of. And I remember asking him, like, were you cut anywhere? Or like, were there any scrapes? Like, were you bleeding? And they were like, actually, yeah, I did like scrape, like, let's say an elbow. Like I did scrape my elbow or something like earlier. And I was like, okay. And so like, having to like undo, or not undo, but kind of like figure out all the things that like had been affecting like said person and like said person's journey, because there was a lot to like kind of undo. And I would say, so I'll give you an example. God damn it, Jordan keeps texting me.
He knows we're doing this.
I know. So if you were to take a piece of thread and tie the thread around your hands and then go like this, you would easily break the thread. Now if you were to take a zip tie and tie it around your hands, it's harder to break that. Like essentially there's things you could do to break said zip ties, but the zip ties are a lot stronger than like a thread. So it's kind of how blood magic works. It's still breakable, but it's a lot harder to like break through that.
That makes sense.
Okay, so then, oh, you asked the blood magic question. I just went on a tangent. Okay. You know, I won't even make you ask a question for that one because I just, yeah. All right, so this one.
Second to last.
Yeah, this one is really good. It also is really hot. It kicks in. But this is like probably my, like, this and the other one are my favorites. That's why I wrote do not use on my thing, to remind myself. But this one's really good. But it'll get you. Oh my god. I'm even slurring my words. Why did I wipe it on my lip? Why am I so stupid? Yeah, your mom's a fucking idiot. Okay. How about you ask a question first this time?
Okay. Question. I wanted to ask you something about, so you don't necessarily have a coven yet, right? But I know you have like a black book, and so like you're working on that. So is that a goal for you one day? You want to have your own coven, or is it like you really just want to stay individual?
So hold on. I need to cool down. So I did this. Whoa. So I did this thing where like alright. So for example, oh fuck me. Oh my god, it's hot. God, you and Jordan both were holding together really fucking well. Fuck both of you.
I love hot sauce.
I know. And so do I, and I eat hot food all the time. Like I eat Indian food and hot sushi all the time. Anyway, so like with my products, a lot of like energy and work goes into them. Now I did this whole thing where like I want people who my products resonate with to like buy them. Like I don't want to sell my products to like just people who are trying to support me, or like if someone wants a candle for their mom for a gift to get it. It's like no, because a lot of my work and energy, like yes, profit-wise, that would make sense for me to want it, but I don't. I want someone who will appreciate the magic. And so if that means I don't really sell a whole lot of candles or whatever, retail-wise, and that's what it means. Like, I would rather have people who have similar interests who, like, resonate with me, like, you know, be in my inner circle. So kind of like that with the coven. Like, if there's people who, if there's people who like I vibe with, who have similar philosophies, ideologies, mindsets, or who I like trust, yeah, I would practice magic with them. However, if I don't, then I won't. Kind of like why I'm single at 31 years old. Like, if I find the right person, great, I will give them a chance. But if I don't, that's fine too. May I be single forever? Probably, maybe. Like, that's how I feel with like practicing with other witches. If I find a group that I fit in with, like, that'd be awesome. But if I don't, that's cool too. So,
I like that answer.
yeah. And also with working with magic though, you really want to make sure, and that's another thing with like spells and stuff, is like you don't want people to like doubt you, because that doubt will influence that magic. Kind of like, I like giving analogies. If you were in a kickboxing match, you were going to punch a boxing bag. You're going to be able to punch that boxing bag a lot harder if someone didn't just punch you in the face. If someone punched you in the face before that, it might affect your punch a little bit. That's kind of how doubt works. That doubt energy can affect what you're doing. So when you're practicing magic with other people, you want to make sure that like you're really on the same page, because other people doubting it will affect it. It can still work, it just makes it harder. Or I bet a less aggressive analogy would be running on land versus running in water. That's
There you go.
yeah. The hot sauce just makes me want to punch someone in the face. Alright, so my question for you. Do you associate witchcraft with a religion or any spiritual beliefs?
Good. Do I associate witchcraft with other spiritual beliefs?
Or like a religion. So like, if someone was to be like, oh, I'm a witch, do you in your mind be like, oh, that's a type of religion? Or do you associate witchcraft with like certain spiritual beliefs or anything?
Yeah.
But would someone be able to be like atheist and a witch? Or would someone be, I don't know. It's just, witchcraft, religion, what's your opinion on the two? Whichever.
I think they can be two separate things. I think they can be the same thing, right? But I don't think that witchcraft is necessarily a religion. I think that witchcraft has a lot to do, or can have a lot to do with spirituality. And I guess the more in tune you are with the spiritual world, the more powerful your magic might be, I guess is how I would...
I'm listening, and I really like your answer, actually. No, I that's one of my biggest things, is like witchcraft is a practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a religion. There are witch religions, like Wicca. Yeah. That's a religion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a witchcraft religion.
I guess, isn't that all witchcraft too?
No, not necessarily. Satan is, like, I think there are witches who practice satanic rituals, but like Satanism is a religion. I don't think Satanists practice witchcraft, to be honest. I think that from my understanding, back when I looked into it, which it's been a few years, but their whole thing was like being a good person or doing good because it's the right thing to do versus because you feel like you'll be punished if you don't. So it's more of like Satan is free will, so it's doing the right thing because you have the will or the free will to do the right thing, whereas like Christian, and I'm not saying like putting anyone down, but Satanists believe that Christians do the right thing because they're afraid of being punished, where they do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, because it's their free will.
That makes sense.
But there are witches who like worship the devil and everything like that. I just say this because like I don't believe in the devil. But Lucifer is an angel. Like that's a whole other tangent. But anyway, I was talking to Jordan about that too. But like Satan is like Saturn energy, so like devil's in the details. Saturn like is about contracts and like the details, and like the rings, it's like the fence around things. It's like contracts and whatever. So it's like Satan is actually Saturn energy. Again, I'll go on a whole other thing. But
it's way over my head.
Yeah. But I just mean there are witches who like do worship the devil and work with like demonic entities and stuff like that. That will play into more fucking with people's free will and like forcing things to happen. Whereas like what I do, if something's not meant to happen, it won't happen. So like, anyway, not part of the question. Okay, go ahead.
I started, so I think I won the last round.
Yeah, wait, no, I just said this witchcraft.
Yeah, I think I had the question first, and then you gave me a question.
Okay.
I think.
Probably. Either way, I went on a tangent, so I still got my turn. Okay. Ooh, I'll have you ask the question first because I want to end on that one.
Okay.
But hold on. Well, he didn't think still, I guess. I know, a lot of tangents. Should just show my psychiatrist this video and be like, this is why I need my meds. Not that she doubts that, but I had an appointment and it's a phone call instead of going there because of COVID. And like the whole thing is like, I've been out of my meds for a while, so I missed the appointment because I haven't been taking my meds. And so then so anyway, so then I had to get a refill and try to make another appointment, and I'm having issues. It's not important right now.
This is the first time I've actually taken this hot sauce.
Yeah.
From the game.
Okay,
well. From the game, I haven't had to take it yet.
Well, I think you're the only one who has. That's fucking bullshit. I think this has Pepper X in it. That's one that Ed from Pucker Butt has it. named yet. Really? Not even gonna put the ingredient list on here?
Can't.
Oh yeah, pepper X peppers. Distilled vinegar, turmeric, coriander, cumin, dried mustard. Ooh. Nice.
Alright, so I'm still thinking here. I want to ask you something. I don't exactly know how to word this, but like when you do magic or when you do your spell work or you're doing maybe energy readings for people, is there like, do you have like a spiritual guide that's with you? Is it like a deity that you call out to? Is it, you know, whatever energies are around you at that time? Like how do you tap into that?
Yes. So it depends on what I'm doing and like what I'm working with, who I'm working with. But I like to work with Archangel Michael a lot. Mostly because he's just always fucking there. But like when I first started, like my first oracle deck I got was like an Archangel oracle deck, raised Catholic. I like knew the archangels, so that kind of resonated with me. But every time I'd always get an Archangel Michael card. Like, we be homies. So I work with his energy a lot, and he is known for like protection and stuff like that. So if I'm ever doing like a ritual that so like if I'm ever doing something with my sleep or like trying to astro project or like gonna be working in like the dark, because like I'm afraid of the dark, I'll have Archangel Michael, like I'll call out to him to like offer protection. But then if I'm doing readings for people, a lot of times I'll ask for like energies from the third heaven and above, which pretty much means like there's different, I'm not gonna, just take that as you will. That says too much to unpack right now when my mouth's burning. Or like if I would say if I'm doing readings for people, I ask them to like contact their guides, or I try to work with theirs. Although I found that like that's not helpful, because like there was someone I did a reading for, and like I had her try to reach out to her guides, and when I did a reading for her, the cards did not make sense to me at all. Like my cards that I use every day, like I did this, and it was like I did the reading and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And I knew I was doing the reading like completely wrong, and I knew that it was like the certain type of energy, but because I think it was like energies that I'm not used to, like it's like someone speaking Spanish to me and I'm trying to like relay it in English, but like I don't really like know what they're saying. So I don't think I'll do that again. I think I'll like kind of work more with my guides and have my guides, like when I channel, like interpret it. Because like when I channel, I didn't know that I had like, how do I put this? How you believe in something but you don't necessarily know what you believe in. I have guides that I channel that I don't necessarily know who they are. Like I know I work with Archangel Michael a lot, but like the other like energies or entities or whatever that I channel, like I don't know. So like
But they're familiar.
Sure. I don't know.
I was gonna say, because I feel like, I'm definitely not as witchy as you are, but I definitely feel like, you know, I have that empathic ability a little bit. I can kind of sense auras, feelings, emotions, spirits, energies, and I get that same thing where sometimes an energy or a wave will just hit me and it'll feel familiar, distant, strange.
Yeah, okay.
But familiar, and then other times it'll be like, oh, this is completely new, or this is different, or, you know, there's, you know.
Yeah, like when it comes to like different psychic abilities, like everybody has different things that like they are different talents or different like abilities they can work with. Like some people who are mediums can like talk to dead people or hear dead people or see dead people. I can't. Like I'm not a medium, I'm not clairvoyant, I'm not clairaudient, which means that you can either see things or hear things. Yeah. Like I'm clairsentient and I'm claircognizant. So like I can feel it and I can know it. So like, and that, I think for me, it's a little bit harder sometimes because of that. Like the claircognizant helps because when I know things, like I know it. But like, for example, when I did this reading for this one lady, like I knew that what I was saying wasn't right. I knew it wasn't hitting the mark. And like, see, typically I would do readings like for people when they're there with me in person, and then I can ask certain questions, figure out where the disconnect is, they answer my questions, and then it'll like go into it. Like, so, because I had, you know, before COVID, always did readings like for people in person, and it's really easy. Like one, for example, I kept getting this image of a pink rose, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, why are you showing me this? Why is that? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And then I had like said this, and this lady's like, oh, my dad before he died like gave me a pink rose or something. I'm like, okay, like for me, I'm trying to figure out if this is loving energy, if this is like beauty, if this is relating to Venus, because I'm like, none of this is making sense. And it turned out it had nothing to do with any of that. And so like when you're in person, I can ask those, but this wasn't. Like she wasn't there. I was like doing a recording thing, and I knew that I wasn't getting it, and I needed to ask certain questions, and like they weren't there in person. And it's also hard because when I'm channeling, if I go to text, it's activating a different part of your brain. So it's like, have you seen people like at a fair being hypnotized? It's like asking somebody who's in hypnosis to snap out of it to then snap back into it. It's like not that easy. Yeah. So like, yeah. So I don't think if I do readings like via camera anymore, if I'll channel other people's guides, because like it doesn't. I can't figure it out. I know that I'm like not right, but then sometimes I like can't get it. I don't know. But then when it comes to, yeah, so clairsentient, that's feeling. So then like certain things will like I can like physically feel it. So if there's like an energy there that wants me to know something, like all the hair on my arms will stand up. But it could be like doing something that's like not whatever. Or another thing is when I work, and I was talking to Jordan about this in the last video, or like even you and your friends are here, like when I'm making candles and stuff, or like when I'm working with the different energies, I'll keep blowing the power out when I'm like doing stuff, like, and I'll have to go to the fuse box and like reset the electricity and then like go back into the room. Like, so that's another like, I think clairsentient thing. It's like working with like the energy around me where it like shuts, like, I don't know, like today I was asking how much dragon blood to like put into a fucking candle, and like what are the, like, I don't know if it's a spirit or what, but I'm like, let me know when it's enough. And like all the herbs and stuff on my shelf are like there forever, like they're always there.
Stationary.
Yeah. And I had ordered more dragon blood, so I was using like my new stuff. And so when I was putting it in the candles, when it had come enough, a dragon's blood, the vial of glass, like fell off the thing and like smashed onto the counter. And I'm like, oh, that was random.
It's gonna be
okay, yeah. So, yeah. Well, I knew it. But yeah, okay. So my last question that I had you wait for, which is a good one. Do you? Well, okay. I'm making this out to be more than it is. I've made it a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. All right. Do you see your beliefs evolving or staying the same throughout your life?
Okay. My beliefs I see about staying the same. However, I do, like living with you, I've become more aware of, you know, the witchcraft side, and so it's making me more, you know, giving me that drive to learn more. So like listening to you when you're talking to other people, you know, channeling or giving them astrology, or, you know, I'm trying to pick up on little things here and there so I could, you know, go to my own room and do my own little research on my own time. There's always more that you can learn, right? Even, you know, a lot. You do it professionally for now over a year, but yet there's still things I'm sure you learn every day.
Yeah.
And so for me, there's just this universe of knowledge to know.
Yeah, like Jamie and Enchanted, every time I go there, I just ask her a bunch of questions, then I come back and like, yeah, right. Okay.
there's so many questions out there, and I don't even know the questions at the point. So it's like, it's one of those things where, will my beliefs change? maybe. I don't really expect them to change, but at the same time, I plan on continuously working on my spirituality.
Yeah.
By that I mean just meeting myself and being one with the universe.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's like, I think like, not necessarily witchcraft, but, well, kind of, because again, that's more of a practice, but like different things that pertain to witchcraft, I think would and do really resonate with you, just because you're a very creative person, and like witchcraft is a lot about like creating and like making things and like being crafty and like using different elements of the earth, and you have a lot of like earth energy in your, like, you know what I mean, like painting rocks for, you know, Ostara, or doing different, like,
Which is coming up, you know,
yeah.
a month or two.
Oh, I gotta show you this real quick though. Oh, look at what I just made. Hold on. I just made little witchy brooms.
Oh, sweet.
I know. Out of their
that's
their
nice.
dried out rose stems, and then like straw, and then like hemp string.
I like these.
Thanks. It's like they go to like wipe off like all the stuff. But yeah, so I have a metaphysical fair is May 22nd that weekend, and so I'm gonna do it. So I'm like practicing making different things for the fair.
So is this something you use like on your altar, or is this something you use? Okay.
Yes to both questions.
Just wherever.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
So when I'm making candles and I spill herbs everywhere, yeah, I use that. But yeah, so I like those. And Jordan, during the last interview, he was talking about like witches riding brooms, and I like told him, I was like, that's a thing that refers to people masturbating. That's what like riding back in the ancient times, like women riding a broom, riding a broomstick meant like the end of a broom.
Oh.
You ride it.
Wait, is that masturbating or is that sex? Are you riding the broom or are you riding the broom?
How is it sex if it's an inanimate object? Like,
It doesn't.
you still fucking
you're
dildo.
You're fucking a broom. I thought it was a.
No,
okay.
no.
I didn't think you meant
No.
literally.
Literally.
Okay. Okay.
Well, according to my research, I guess I wasn't there. I don't know.
I haven't had any splinters up there.
But like that, no research like back in like old times or ancient. I don't know how ancient, but that's
People probably still do it.
I mean,
anything's a dildo.
I'm sure an ER nurse would like be like, that's not an ancient thing.
Just saw that last week.
Yeah, but no, that's what that used to refer to. So
Learn something new every day.
yeah. I feel like that's not what I should end the video on. So even though I literally brought out little mini broomsticks. So I don't know. So you can. Oh, anything you would like to plug? That's what
My
Sean does.
plugs? Oh no, yeah. No. There's nothing I want to plug.
Your lawn care business.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but no, because I'm going to be traveling in a year, so I don't really need that customer base. I get it. I've got my customers down.
Okay.
So yes, I do have a lawn care business, but if you're in the West Des Moines, Milwaukee area, and you need, some one-on-one consultation with some lawn care, or you want your
Andy's doing Dancing with the Stars again.
Yeah, Dancing with the Stars Des Moines. That's going to be March 6th, so it's coming up. This video is probably going to come up
Next
after
week.
March 6th.
No, I'm gonna edit it and post it tomorrow.
March 6th.
Yeah.
See me on Dancing with the Stars Des Moines. It's going to be sweet.
Okay. Bye.